This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishikesh.
We're live across the nation online, www.onecast.in, numeral 1cast.in, anywhere in India. On your Bombay radio sets, it's 94.3 on the FM band. And only if you're not driving, then I promise to put up some videos on Facebook and Twitter of my guest, just having a bit of a chat with us. So make sure you catch that at HRISHIKY on Twitter as well as Facebook and facebook.com/radio1.mum. Sid Malhotra, my friend, the successful director of Hichki. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing, buddy?
You. I'm relieved, yeah. Thank you so much for having me here and helping me promote the film still.
Always. And I don't know if you remember. Our last interview was, of course, We Are Family, but our first interview was you coming to our studio, which at the time was near the ITC Grand Central.
I remember.
You had released a pop album.
Yeah.
And you were a singer.
Yeah, I was a singer.
And now I turn around to people and say, and I told Rani that, I said, do you know that Sid is a singer?
Yeah.
He's a pop star back in the day. And a lot of people are really, really surprised.
Yeah,
do you still get that when you tell people that?
Now I get people totally shocked because at that point, the video when you see on YouTube or anywhere, you say, "Arey yaar, ye to bahut, he was very thin and bahut patla tha. Ab kya ho gaya isko?"
Which is what they say about me also.
But singing or music will never go out of someone who's learnt it all their life. So singing and music is an integral part of me. But yeah, when I tell people today, like few days ago, I told Manish, I said, Anand Bakshi, his son, sent me a lovely message.
Rakesh Bakshi, yeah.
Sent me a lovely message actually of a teacher who sent him a message to watch Hichki. And it was a very heartwarming message. So he said, look, this is someone who doesn't know you and he sent me a message to go and watch the film. And I shared it with Manish and Adi and they said, yeah, this is a lovely, very heartwarming message. Please send us more of these ones even. So that's when I told them, I said, I know Rakesh because, his father wrote his first pop album was with me as a singer.
Correct.
And they were like, Acha, you used to sing? I said, yeah, I have a video even. You can laugh, look at me and laugh and have a good meal along with it. And,
No, but bro, see, some of the present generation of radio presenters will not understand that. But a few of us dinosaurs who have been around.
Yeah.
And Rani said that when she came into studio. She said, from Mardani to now, I've been seeing so many new faces. So it's wonderful to see some old journalists. And and at the end of the day, what are we? We're radio journalists. And she said, it's nice to see some of the old guys around.
Yeah, because you have a connect. All hard, you guys are all hard. So it's always fun to connect with you guys and in here or out of here, wherever we meet, it's the same relationship.
Lovely.
So
lovely. Listen, this is wonderful. You've been living with this for 5 years. It's really consumed you for 5 years in a good way. It all started with a book that really impacted you. Talk to me about that.
So after We Are Family, my cousin Hrishi, he stays in the US. He read this book. And my uncle, my mama actually, younger mama, Mr. Raj Mehta, who's also credited to write the film. At that point of time, he and me were going to produce the film and write it. And so we got in touch with the writers of Palak, Ganesh Number. And in 2013, we officially bought the rights of Front of the Class. Got in touch with Brad Cohen, got in touch with Hallmark. Bought the rights to his book. And then I had this 9F concept lying with me since a long time. My first ever television show that I ever made, which never got released, was about 9 standard failures and dropouts. So that got merged with this character because I said that this character needs to have a tougher journey. Brad's character basically was teaching only the second graders, 2-year-olds. So that along with then Ganesh Number brought in the idea of the RT, and we got to know about actually a deal which happened in Kolkata where school is of unrecognized land. Basically, a school is not of owned land, then it's unrecognized. So you need to own the land for it to be an established school. So another big school had bought over a municipal school and taken over their kids as a barter. So that's exactly how we got the idea of, from a real event, of how 9F comes into St. Notker's. So ye karte in 2013 the script got formed, and 2013 I think April, May we started pitching the script to producers, and since then to producers and actors actually, and since then it's taking me till 2017 actually to get someone who believed in it.
And did Adi and Manish, Aditya Chopra and Manish Sharma immediately believe in it, or was there a bit of a back and forth saying, Sid, you got to tweak this, let's talk a little more about it? What was the excitement level and how long did it take to fruition?
For me actually, the 2013 to 17 I had gone and pitched it to every studio possible. You can think of the studio, they've heard this film. You can think of the actor, male actor, they've heard this. And they've heard it with me narrating it with the tics, with the Tourette's. And I kept wondering that, I'm doing it. And this seems to be like a role of a lifetime for any hero.
I'm just going to interrupt you here. All of you are listening to this broadcast. A tic in Tourette's syndrome is a particular pattern which they keep repeating. They themselves don't know that these tic exists, but the person in front of them is able to notice it. It could be a physical tic, it could be a gesture, it could be a sound, a motor tic. Continue. Yeah, so you used to narrate with the tics.
I would narrate it with that, which is what Rani does in the film. And some studio guys would tell me, no, it needs to be a more commercially viable project. Some people would say, no, it needs to be a, get me a bigger star. Pad it up with 4 more other tick marks which were beyond these ticks. So everybody had their, someone called me at 2:30 in the morning and I was waiting, I hope that person takes it up. And a studio and said, what have you done? And why is Tourette's there in the film? I said, because it's based on front of the class. So there were times of self-doubt and there were times of a lot of struggle saying that, am I doing the right thing? Because this is the film I wanted to say, and I kept writing other films and coming back to this film. Till I got a meeting with Ashish Patil, who manages the YRF Talent.
Ashpat.
Yes.
Back in the day, now it makes us feel like a dinosaur. Ashpat used to be at MTV and I used to do voiceovers for him.
Oh, what a wonderful man.
Lovely chap he is.
He's a great guy.
Ageless.
Yeah. And
so you went to Ashish.
Yeah. I met him and I took him through story and I said that, this is what I have. And he, on hearing just the synopsis, was crying. So I said, you're the first man who's getting it for me. And he said, I want to hear the full film. He heard the full film. And after he heard the full film, he said that I want you to get to narrate it to Aditya Chopra. And at that point of time, I think it's it was a dream come true for me because my wife kept telling me after Karan, just go to Adi and, he'll do it. And I was like, yeah. He's sitting right here, the biggest man, biggest filmmaker, biggest studio in the country is waiting for me. And like I know it, I'm actually sitting in front of him in this, I think December 2017, on the 24th or 25th, I've met him and I've narrated the film to him. And he had not seen We Are Family. And all he said is that the way you've narrated it, will you make it this way? I said, I just want to make it this way. Nobody else is letting me. And said, okay, come back to me on the 1st of December, the new year. And I called him on the 1st. I said, I'm back. He says, come and meet me again. And narrated to Manish because I'm doing Befikre. I want Manish to hear it. And narrated to Manish. Manish heard it. He's got his very classic smile. If you know him, you'll see that it's a very naughty, classic one. And he says, "Yaar, badhiya hai. Ye to acha kiya hai aapne." I said, "Thank you. Bana rahe ho ki nahi?" And he took 2-3 days. And he called me back saying, I love the film. We want to make it. But I know you've lived with the fact that it's a hero. What if we've seen a film with a hero teacher, male teacher.
Yeah.
What if we flip it? What if we make it a female? You'll get way more gravitas. And, in my mind, I was like, this star, that star. And, now with Yashraj, maybe I can get access to all of them. So that was the Hichki in my mind, which I had to overcome. And thought about it. And then I realized that actually I'm changing nothing in the story. The 9F conflict remains the same. Her conflict remains the same. Her father's issues with not, accepting her remain the same. Except, a male becomes a female. The journey still remains the same. And I'm getting my film. I'm getting it. I'm finally getting to tell the story with someone believing and not wanting to change my film. And that's when I went back, agreed, and then the rest is history.
Beautiful. For all of you who listen, who think that star kids or star families have it easy, the living proof, the living example is Sid P. Malhotra sitting here. I'll tell you what else I loved about the film. Some parts of the film resonates with everybody.
Yeah.
So as a Bombay Madrasi, I was damn happy that there's this whole Dharavi underground rap culture, the cool part of Bombay Madrasis that you tapped into. So was that by accident? Was that something the music people would just lean or somebody put you onto it? Or how did that happen?
So when we finished the film, the scripting, and we finally got Rani, and we realized that without 9F we don't have a strong film because there's no love story in this film. And we again we're taking a female protagonist, and now we don't have a love angle, and now we're making a film about Tourette syndrome and a teacher and all that kind of stuff. So agar 9F we don't get the right kids, and those 14 kids have to look like Basti kids and have to be real, and so we started with my casting director Shanu Sharma. She went full hog and started auditioning schools and slums and went in everywhere. My AD team was very, very efficient and they were seeing the same film with me, thank God. And my writer Ankur. So he went into Dharavi actually for one of these Dharavi rapper, and that's where Benjamin and Kalai were found, because we realized that here Ben is a full-on rapper, and you give him a word and he can just go mad with it. He's really talented. And Kalai was a beatboxer, and their natural slang was the Madrasi. So we said we should change our character to make it that. Let's not make them act to what we've written. Let's adapt to them, because that's the only way the audience will connect with their honesty, because they're really, really raw. They're really, really honest. Let's just train them to unlearn acting, so that when they come on screen, they're not acting, they're being themselves, and they're not conscious of the camera. Because other people, generally what happens with kids, and you try to act, and when you try to act and try to be what you're not, that's when the acting shows. But if you let them just be themselves and just let them say the line, just say the line and feel the line. So what we spent a lot of time is understanding all these 14 kids. Those 4 months that Atul Mongia and Prashant sir helped us rigorously train these 14 kids, and helped me understand each one of them, their family, who they come from, what their backgrounds are, what really gets to them, what doesn't get to them, what food they like, what kind of life they live. So for me, I had literally become a friend, a father, a guide, everything to them. And I told them, you can come to me at any point during the film, beyond the film, before. I'm there for you.
Your family, correct. Amazing.
I am your family. You can come with any problem. And they do, even now, when the film is over.
So they text you, WhatsApp you, call.
Yeah. The excitement they have is the most gratifying one.
Beautiful.
Because, some of them don't come from a great socio-economic strata. And for them, that recognition and the fact that people have really, really appreciated them is giving them incentive to work more. And I think none of them ever thought that life would take them in that direction. Even I never thought that I would be actually directing a film for Yashraj and life would take me in this direction, in spite of coming from a film family and legacy. So I think for all of us, this film has been a turning point in our lives. We've all overcome our Hichki and somehow learned to deal with it.
The girls also, they're just brilliant. The kind of sensitivity shown, I think, is because they're really not acting, because they've taken off all those layers.
Yeah.
And where did you find them? Again, was it the same process? Now we've spoken about the South Indian rapper, the beatboxer. Yeah. The girls, where did you find them?
The girl, one already was in Neel Bhatte. I had seen...
which is the Swara Bhaskar film. Yeah, correct.
I had seen her there and I loved her, and I said, this girl has to be in. So that's where I knew she would come from. Atish I had seen in I Am Kalam. He was the kid in there. And I had seen I Am Kalam and I said, yaar, isko pakdo. Ye hai actor. Ye tagda actor hai. And we had written Atish for 4-5 years along, and this character was very clear that he has to be that rebel. And so when we got him in the workshops, we saw his intensity, and we saw that somewhere, if we break him down, he's a child who wants a lot in life and will get a lot in life. God bless him for that. But he's vulnerable and he's all of it, and he's angsty. So that's where we got Atish. Tamanna, Shanu was, casting, and I must have casted, I think, about 20,000 kids. Went to 5,000, went to 1,000, 500, 100, and then 50. So Tamanna was, when we shortlisted that 5,000, we had seen her and we had said that, this face is really interesting. She's very natural, and we kept shortlisting her and she kept making it to the list more and more. Oru for us, Tamanna was the one who cuts the bhindi.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oru for us, Parsh had seen in Uttaran. I had seen in Uttaran and I knew that she's a lovely actor. But the challenge for us, even of the ones who didn't make it, and they were lovely actors, was that these 14 need to belong to the same basti. They need to look like one. Although they are different, they need to look as one unit and 9 standard kids. Failures, of course. So, upar niche, up down chalega, but they all need to look, when you see them in a poster, they need to look like one uniform unit. So that process took us a lot of time. Manish, me, Adi, my ADs, everybody, I think everybody on the unit, my DOP, Avinash Arun. And Avinash had done a film called Killa, which is a beautiful Marathi film. Yeah. So it was about children again. So we had a very, very strong team. And then Shanu was, you've got to take him. You've got to. She kept
and Shanu is mad. She can be very persistent. Huh?
Yeah. She said, this is it.
Sam and me are very dear friends. And he's like, there's no way I'm the elder brother because I get bullied all the time.
I can trust Shanu for that.
Yeah. The fact that you've taken part of Bombay's folklore, which is the Worli village, which is St. Xavier's College.
Correct.
And, you've kept the production design so natural. Also means a lot of thought has gone into that. I love the scenes of Worli village and this and that. It's only now the world is discovering it. Coldplay is coming and shooting a video there and all of that. But this has been part of our legacy for so many years.
For a long time.
So talk to me about that.
And what a beautiful place. I mean, if that place, the way right now another slum has been beautified, if that place was well cleaned or well kept, that place, like I believe, and that's my strong belief system, we go abroad and we go to these small villages and pay entry fees to enter there. This can become a tourist site for Bombay.
Like the Budapest and the Norways and the Tallins of the world.
Literally become the view you get from the Worli Fort. I don't think so you get anywhere in Mumbai. You stand on the Worli Fort, you can see the sea link, you get great, the breeze that you get is lovely, the ambience is beautiful. Actually it shows you Bombay. You can see the high-rise buildings and you can see the slums on one side and the other side, and it's the reality of the city.
Bombay. Correct.
And in one frame you can actually see both of them and you say, yeah, this is where we stay.
Did you go to Xavier's?
Absolutely.
So it's your alma mater back again.
Oh, no. I was in HR.
You were in HR?
I was in HR, but Xavier's was where I wanted to go. So the crowd was lovely, no?
It is my alma mater, which is why I said
it is also Neeraj Kabi's alma mater.
It is, isn't it? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He must have been much senior, obviously.
Yeah.
So fantastic. That's why it looks and it really gives the feel of being what it is, which is what this Notkas does stand for, isn't it? I mean,
because we needed a classic, like I was in Scottish, Bombay Scottish, Queen Lawrence first and then Bombay Scottish. We needed a classic convent, old world kind of structure in which there are, like you would see today, I've grown up in South Bombay and then moved to Bandra. So you can actually see the disparity and difference in the thought process, in the kids, in the parents, in the way you look. You could be generous to your driver's son, but when your driver's son studies in your same class, then that disparity starts emerging. So these are realities of life which were happening day in, day out. And so we wanted that one structure which represents, when we say St. Notkas, and actually we did research St. Notkas, and he was a stammerer himself, and he was a poet and scientist, which is why we put the name St. Notkas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in fact, there was a line in the film which we deleted later on because of length, because she says, he asks, why St. Notkas? And she actually says that, sir, you're forgetting that St. Notkas, the school that we are teaching in, he himself was a stammerer, a poet, and his own...
This is when she's sitting in front of the council and they interview.
Yeah, and they ask, and they said that, how his the person who represents him described him, that intellect of the mind, not the,
Yeah.
So that's where all those things that come out from. So, but we have a shot in the film. We have a shot where she comes and she looks at the Notka statue and it tilts down and you see Saint Notka, the stammerer.
When she's going up for the first time.
It's a small nuance. I mean, if you observe it, you observe it. But before, to highlight it, we had a dialogue and we had all that kind of stuff even.
But you took it out. Yeah, but then that's what you do on the edit table, right? You make compromises for the film.
But we had such many more beautiful scenes which were there. And
what I've also noticed about Rani post childbirth, and I didn't tell her this, and I should have told her this, is because there's a refreshingly remarkable honesty that has come into her performance and her as a person. I have never seen her this honest. She's gone on public platforms, whether it's Manikji's Cooper School, which is her school, or on my radio show, everywhere saying, I used to stammer. My mother stammered.
Yeah, it was all new for me. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I've never seen her so honest. I mean, there are interviews I've done in the past. You think she's really grown as a person, and motherhood and childbearing. All of us who are parents know that, You change when you become a parent. Did you notice that in Rani as a performer?
For me, I didn't know Rani as a person at all. I used to work in Dharma and I assisted Kannan in Bombay Talkies as well. Because I just wanted to assist him. I said, "Chalo, ek film to aapke."
Wow. Yeah.
So after my film release, so she was working in that. But I only knew her as Rani Mukherjee's star, and she knew my sister and hi bye, that kind of stuff. Neither did I know that I'll ever be working with her. In this journey, what I've discovered is a team player. I think the best way to describe her is Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Is that the three words that describe her is that she's all pure, she's all heart. And if she loves you, she loves you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And she is an outstanding mother. And I think she is an outstanding friend as well. She's someone who will be there for you and who will not think twice before telling you if you're doing something wrong, if it's going to help you. Will not think about what's in it for me, what's not in it for me. Will think about the larger picture. So I think, and although we are the same age, that 22 years of experience in her life, for me it was my second film. For her, these are 22 years that she's been doing films. I think that has defined her as a person, because the amount of ups and downs she's seen, we haven't. We are still doing the same stuff every day and trying to reinvent. But she's worked with a plethora of people and minds and egos. So that has, I think, shaped her into one of the most sorted, and she's a remarkable person. Whatever I have dealt with her, I'm fortunate because I believe that what we actually build in a film, besides a good film, is the relationships, because that stays with you forever. Film will come, of course, it'll be there for posterity, but relationships will carry on forever if you bonded. So in that, I've gained a friend with her, which I'm very, very happy with.
When she came here, she said two things. One is about Siddharth Malhotra personally and Siddharth Malhotra professionally. I asked her on both counts, and of course, personally, she had such wonderful things to say about you. She said he's one of those rare people who are very respectful, and not just of me because I'm a star. He gives a lot of respect to human beings, and he's incredibly polite and well behaved, which I think all of us could do with being more of. I think as Indians, we're not smiling at each other in the lift. We're not opening doors enough. We're not being just compassionate with each other. And she said that about you, which hats off, bro. Brownie points to you. She said he's respectful, he's incredibly well behaved, he's polite. Those are wonderful qualities. And she said,
I'm called the Rajshri boy.
Yeah.
Because I am Surajji's prodigy anyway.
And professionally, she said that the unit was so tight, it could have been any Hollywood production anywhere in the world. She said, I'm going to land up at this time, I'm going to leave at this time, and it was on point. So that production aspect, I don't want you to comment so much on the personal aspect, but the production aspect and how you got it down to a tight snitch.
After we narrated the film to her, she loved it, and then she said that this film requires a lot of work as an actor and commitment, so don't take me, because I'm a mother and I will only have this limited time that I can give you. So we knew that we needed an actor and we knew that she believed in the film and believed in us. So we had to work around those hours because she didn't want to miss the moment of Adira's childhood, because at that point she was about to take her first step, say her first word, and she wanted to be there for that. So she would come at 6:30 in the morning, 6:30 to 7, we'd sit, have a cup of coffee, discuss scene. 7 to 7:30 she would actually go in, and in half an hour, I think this is something the entire fraternity should learn from her, with all modesty and humility, that in half an hour she finished her hair, makeup and wardrobe.
Wow.
Other people take 2 to 3 hours to even come on set. They're just going on and on and on to get ready. I've seen television actors as a producer where I've got calls and, sir, wo abhi bhi van mein taiyar ho rahi hai. Here is Rani Mukherjee, who comes with her lines ready. Even if it's a very 6-page scene, she comes ready. And by 7:45, 8 o'clock, our first shot was always taken. And by 12:30, she was packed up. And we had 15, 16 people in one shot generally, because we had the kids, 14 of them, plus her, plus one more teacher comes in. So the way we worked out is we knew our shot division completely. And we had trained the actors, a 9F, strong enough to face her.
Wow.
And my AD team and Avinash Arun, my DOP, they were like, their entire camera department were like, totally on the dot. So we knew that this is the time we need to be all guns, blazing. And with her, you just need 1 take or 2 takes, because she's giving her shot to the best of her ability and she's getting it right. She gets her shot right, you've got to get your focus, your other stuff right. And for me, it was always about, if I wanted a certain performance, we would have discussed the performance a day earlier. So the evening when she was at home, or the night before, is when we would discuss that what do I want from her in the scene the next day.
You do it on the phone, or you show up and have a quick meeting at home?
No, in the morning 6:30 to 7 we would rediscuss it again. But in the evening we would read the full scene on the phone.
Wow.
After reading the full scene on the phone, dialogue by dialogue, we would discuss what would Naina be at this point of time. And she would have her take, I would have my take, and I would say, nahi yaar, at this point of time she will take more, because she's really, really tensed. And Brad had told us in his Skype meetings that when I'm worked up, I do take more. But when I'm in a comfort zone, I will take less. So can this line be better? Can she be a little more endearing? So all those give and take, because Rani and me were seeing the same film. And because my entire unit, from the spot boy to my sound designer to everybody, to my art director Meenal, who actually is a great eye for cinematography even, all of us were seeing the same
This is
film.
Rajat Kapoor's wife, Meenal.
She is fabulous.
She's fantastic.
In fact, when you spoke some time ago of the production design and the way we've kept it so real, I must tell you, Chief, that we had empty halls, empty classrooms. Whatever is looking real and looking like a real location is actually all propped up by Meenal, and it looks real. So that's the beauty of a production designer who has taken an empty space, made it real, and the viewer will always feel it's a real location.
Yeah, I mean, even the desks and all seem scratched and things like
She's
that.
aged them all. She actually created those desks. She made them herself. And the Notker statue, everything was done by her. So, of course, we had the real school and we had the real walls. But besides that, she painted the walls, got the desks, made the desks. Because we didn't have those kind of desks. We were shooting in college and we needed school desks. So, the school desks were not available in the college. So, we had to make our own desks and put it in the classroom. So, all that is a matter of production design which Meenal has done. Even in the Worli Basti, when you see Atish's cycle shop, or you see the house, that's all done up. That's all done up by her. And you feel
I thought the cycle shop, you just shot in a cycle shop.
No, it's all her. So that's the brilliance of a good production designer whose work is seen but never felt that she's really...
It's like redoing a heritage monument. As opposed to doing whitewashing and putai, you actually work on...
and she's ensured that we get it so real. That's the reason I'm mentioning it, to everybody, on air, that people should know that this was all hard work put in by the production designer, where people feel it's real. It is real thanks to her. It is all her hard work.
I first heard of and met Jasleen Royal during Bar Bar Dekho, the other Sid Malhotra, which is Siddharth Malhotra, the actor, told me, he said, bro, you've got to meet this chick, man. Do an interview with her. And then, Ritesh and Farhan and Nitya and all these guys were raving about her. So, she came in with a guitar and she just blew me away. She had a voice like a child and the music was so mature. And here she is doing her stuff in Hichki. Yeah. Your idea, Manish's idea, Adi's idea to get Jasleen on board.
Entirely Manish's idea. Manish and Jasleen knew each other. And I think they had interacted on certain occasions. And Jasleen, like you said, came in with a guitar only. Opened the guitar case and Manish said that Millo, get a vibe. And she hummed the Naina's theme to us. That was the first thing she hummed. And the theme was so beautiful, which is the climax song of the film. Teri Dasta.
Teri Dasta.
And that was, basis the theme is when we said that you're on. And after that it was Manish who has driven the music. Because we were shooting, we were editing, at that point we were releasing earlier. And we had shot the songs. The songs, in fact, were created after the film all the songs were created after the film was fully shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she had lots of reference points.
She had all the visuals.
Visuals, everything.
She had everything. She had the full film.
Great.
After seeing the film, she made the songs and the lyrics were done. So the music that is being appreciated, all credit where it duly goes to Manish. It's Manish who's actually sat down with her. Of course, we've been involved, we've had opinions, but he's been the one who has taken that mantle and driven it.
I've got to sign this off by asking you about life beyond Hichki. You're a successful filmmaker now. Is it going to be only motion pictures? You and your wife have a production unit.
Yeah.
Is that also going to continue? You've got your finger in a few pies now. So what does the future hold for Siddharth Malhotra?
Future is more, I hope I don't wait for 5 more years to say another film to go. So I have a lot of scripts which I'm already discussing with Yashraj. As far as the production company goes, we are producing web series which will be announced in the next month. 2 of them already which are signed up.
And it's a very interesting name you have for your production.
Alchemy Films.
Alchemy Films. Some good magic there.
Yeah. My college best friend gave it to me.
Lovely.
He suggested this name. And I'm producing a theatre play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do theatre. So I'm finally producing a play.
Good script, good director, cast.
I'm very excited about it. A very good cast. I'm just about in a week from now, I'll be locking everything on. And then we begin rehearsals.
Well done, buddy. What are the reactions you've been getting? I know that teachers are loving it. Have people who are differently abled, disabled, people with Tourette's been reacting? Tell us about the reactions to Hichki.
The film fraternity is one reaction that you get, which is the expected reaction on a success. On a failure, of course. On a failure, of course, it's the expected reaction behind your back.
Behind your back.
The most gratifying reaction we've got is from teachers, from like Dr. Harish Shetty is a big psychiatrist. There was a lovely blog he wrote on the film.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Lovely.
It was beautiful. Yesterday when I read somebody else's blog from Chennai, the people who are coming out are saying that we want to be better people after watching this film, and that is a big compliment. That is something which my mentor Suraj Barjatia, who is like a god figure in my life and a father figure in my life, he'd always told me, if you manage to do that, then you've really been able to influence somebody's life or change somebody's life, then whatever your effort has gone through. And people on Twitter and Facebook have written to me that we have Tourette's. We were shy of telling the world about it because people kept looking at us with different set of looks, so we kept shunning away from the fact. And today we are willing to come out with it. So I've actually interacted with about 10 or 15 people on Twitter who actually told me that we have Tourette's, and now we're coming out with it. And Rani's got that reaction. So we're really, really happy, because if a film actually not only entertains but also can make a difference in someone's life, then we've achieved what we set out to do.
Sid Malhotra, this has been special, man. Thank you so much for rolling by. Yeah. And all the best, and we'll keep a keen eye on your theatre production and all the other productions, and have you back in studio soon.
It'll be wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks.